Back in college, during my first year of engineering, I would often eat at campus restaurant with others and then go to class. It was convenient because I would go there and I don't have to bring food with me, and it was kinda healthy. It looked like some rice, some vegetable steak and some yogurt, something like that. So we would have that and then go to class. And I remember one day we had this huge group project. Well, it wasn't very long, it was like 4 hours. But it still was very important for grades, so everyone wanted to succeed in this project. And you would start and professor would explain to us for the first 30 minutes what we should do, what are our tasks, and I would just sit there and kinda look straight into his eyes, but his face was blurry. Like I wouldn't even see his face in details because my eyes were so relaxed that they would look back in the distance. And the reason for that was just because I would feel extremely tired after lunch. I would just not be able to focus. His words would come into my left ear and come out of my right ear. I wouldn't even understand. Like I can hear words, but I cannot make a sentence and something meaningful out of that. He would explain this stuff and then other students would get to work. But I would just kind of sit there and I didn't understand anything. And so I'd ask other students, please give me something to do. Like I didn't understand anything what he said, just give me something. And they would kind of like, nah, wait, bro, wait, I'm just gonna finish this and I'm gonna tell you. And 2 hours later, I would be like, bro, I cannot take this anymore. It is literally painful to stay awake. Like, you know, when you're at home, like you can lay in bed and just go for a nap. But when you're in school or at work, like there's other people around you, you cannot just fall asleep and like just be like that there. So you've got to keep your eyes open. And I remember there was this scene from Tom and Jerry where he would like put matches into his eyelids in order to prevent them from closing. And I literally felt like that for a long period of time. And at the mark of like 3 hours or 3.5, I would like, yeah, great, I feel better. But then I would look at the final report that other students made, and I would only see 3 names. But we were 4 in the group. I would see that there wasn't my name up there. And so I would like confront him like, why is it not my name? Like, why didn't you put my name up there? And he said, you didn't work today. You didn't do shit. Like, we are gonna fail because of you. We didn't even finish like half the task because we were outnumbered. And so they wouldn't put my name up there because that would make their grade go down. And that would literally make me so ashamed of myself and even panic because I really wanted to get a master's in engineering. Like in France, there's a very big distinction between technicians with a bachelor's and actual engineers with a master's, because just to be called an engineer, you need a specific master's degree. And I would basically never get that, and I would get just like 1 or 2 F's in my grades. So I would panic and I would just like, no, wait, we can negotiate, I can do this and that for you, like next time I'm gonna do more work, and just, it felt horrible. And after a while, I've noticed that it would always come after lunch. If I would have the same project in the morning, it wouldn't happen. And I started digging and I started doing my research. And what I found out is that actually the food that most people eat is extremely bad for productivity. Modern food is based on agriculture, which is designed to produce as much calories as possible to feed 8 billion people on planet Earth. It is not designed to make you the most productive person ever. And it works kind of for people who do physical labor, like high carb diets. They allow you to get this quick boost of energy. But if you're doing intellectual work, your monkey brain crashes immediately on that. And I was especially sensitive, like I'm a kind of a hyper responder to this kind of carb intake. So I would always crash from lunch, and especially from ultra processed foods like refined white rice with some weird sauce with seed oils on top, some yogurt with sugar, all of that stuff, like things that normal people would consider healthy. And the thing is, evolutionary, we were not designed to eat like that at all. In fact, there is a recent study from 2021 which found that actually humans, for most of our evolutionary history, have been hypercarnivores. We have not been eating grass like cows or eating that much fruit like other monkeys, like other primates, chimpanzees. We did not. We ate a bunch of meat. We would hunt megafauna into extinction. Like the reason why at the end of our evolutionary history we've been eating much more fruits than before is actually because we hunted all the megafauna out. Like we made mammoths go extinct, we made like cave lions go extinct probably, and many things in Australia and America were just like vanished in a matter of like 2000 years once humans got there. So we were actually eating a lot of animal products. We've been eating a lot of fatty meat, not like actual lean meat, because lean meat would actually get you like rabbit starvation. It's a condition where you eat too much protein, not enough fat and carbs, and basically this makes your liver fail, and there's like accumulation of ammonia, and it's basically intoxicating your entire body. It's called rabbit starvation because people who would only eat rabbit meat, which is very lean, it's like under 4% fat, would get this disease from just getting too much protein. But eating fat meat is actually really healthy for you unless you have like this major disease like a kidney disease or a liver disease, but you would know that, you would be on dialysis or something like that. So I tried going in ketosis on a mostly animal-based diet, and it made wonders for me. I could finally focus in class. I could finally like not get cravings for food randomly in the morning or at night. I would just be satiated for most of the time. Most importantly, this allowed me to get into this master's engineering program, which I wanted so badly. I actually became the best student in my entire class in the process. I was like the best out of 51 students. Like you couldn't get better than that. Like you're already first in your entire school. So that was insane. And the reason it happened is because I actually got on an ancestrally consistent diet. If you're a hyper respondent to carb crushes like I am, because you probably are if you're watching this, you should absolutely go into ketosis, which basically means eating fat and protein as your main energy source and have under 5% of your daily energy come from carbohydrates. And the reason why most people still don't eat like that is, well, first, ultra-processed food companies really don't want that because that would basically make them go out of fucking business. And secondly, it is unsustainable on a very large scale. So if we make 8 billion people eat this diet, we're gonna run out of resources really quick and we're gonna have basically an ecological disaster. But this is not a problem for us because first of all, we do intellectual work. The vast majority of humans on Earth don't do intellectual work anymore. They do some kind of physical work which does require carbohydrates. Like if you're loading trucks every single day, you would be glad to have a bowl of rice instead of just steak and fat because it's gonna give you more energy. But if you are doing intellectual work, if you're an engineer, like even if you're a doctor, especially if you're a high performer, if you're into business, if you're in engineering, if you're a lawyer or something, you would need that extra boost. You cannot function at 40% your brain capacity. You need much more than that. Like I speak my third language right now. English is not even my first nor the second language. I learned Russian first, then I moved to France and I learned French by studying here, and then I learned English. And I actually speak some German too, but I don't use it that often. In order to get your brain to this maximum power, you absolutely need to switch away from a high carb diet to a lower carb, high fat, high meat diet. And there is no big deal. Like I know people like get scared by all the meat and saturated fat. They're like, no, cholesterol and heart disease and coronary artery and stuff. Look, there has been a study that found that there is no correlation between ketosis and high fat diet and even high saturated fat diet. It was basically looking at men who are 50 to 60-year-old. So like it's not like they're 20-year-olds who don't get plague just because they got this immunity from being young. At that age you would start getting plague anyway. But guess what? Men who ate a ketogenic diet got barely any plaque, and those who got some plaque got it from just having plaque from ultra-processed foods from before. So basically plaque predicts plaque, but plaque is not predicted by eating high-fat ketogenic diet. So I've been working on my diet for the past like 3 years and I made many mistakes. I tried many things. I tried Mediterranean diet, well, because I live in France. I tried adding more meat into that. I tried balanced diet. I tried normal ketogenic diet. Right now I'm on carnivore with some little amount of carbs, which I add selectively when I go to gym basically. But I'm gonna try strict carnivore diet after that, and I'm gonna keep you in touch with how it works. But basically, ketosis is this OP thing that if you're healthy, you can use to your advantage to use maximum amount of your brain power. And if you're an engineer like me, you would absolutely need this in order to get ahead in this competitive world. So that is basically my recommendation for today. Go into ketosis, but here's a really important detail. You don't go into ketosis with these weird like keto snacks, like these weird things which got like fucking artificial sweeteners in there. For this to truly work, you need to eat a completely natural diet. Get rid of all the cereals, get rid of all the ultra processed stuff, get rid of the fucking weird vegan or keto snacks, get rid of all of that. This is not gonna help you. These things are designed for weak people. I know you're not a weak person if you're watching this, because you're not brain rotten or something. So don't bullshit yourself. Go on a natural diet, get through this, and actually after a couple of months of eating naturally, you don't even crave ultra processed foods anymore. For example, I first got off ultra processed foods like 3 years ago, and I actually didn't feel like eating any of them at all for the past 3 years basically. I was eating different diets. I was trying Mediterranean, high meat Mediterranean, all that stuff, but I never ever craved a slice of frozen pizza or a McDonald's burger. Like I was like if I'm very hungry, I'll be like, yeah, it would be kind of nice, but well, I'm gonna go home and cook steak. That was basically my reaction whenever I had these thoughts. It is insanely powerful. This is why you need to go on an ancestrally consistent natural diet. Actual meat, actual organ meat. Like I really think like if you're a student, the OP thing is eating beef heart, because it's twice or even 3 times as cheap as beef muscle, but it's also extremely healthy, really great to boost your productivity, and also it is high in micronutrients which are necessary for your heart. Like there's the coenzyme Q10 which people like to supplement with. Well, there's a ton of it in beef heart, and coenzyme Q10 is really good for your heart health. Well, who would have guessed like eating heart is good for your heart? Well, it is. And same thing about beef liver, but here's the thing, be careful with beef liver because it's so full of nutrients that if you eat too much of it, you may actually get like liver toxicity. But like eating it once a week, like 100 grams once a week is safe, or eating a little bit every single day. You don't need to get raw, like eating raw beef, like it may be your personal choice, but you need to be very careful with contamination and stuff. But if you like don't mind eating cooked meat, like we've been cooking meat for like almost a million years now. So like it's in our DNA to cook stuff. So cook meat. And if you would like to eat raw meat and you have access to it, to high quality raw meat, which is safe, go ahead, like there's no big deal. The thing is, you can still stay flexible. We're not like vegans who say that you should, if you ever eat animal food, you're gonna fucking get kicked out of the community. If you wanna eat some vegetables, you can go ahead, but you need to figure out for yourself if it is safe for you. What I mean by safe, if it doesn't compromise your productivity. Like eating fruit is generally considered okay because fruit is the part of the plants that they actually want you to eat. Like every other part of the plant is basically stuff that they don't want you to eat. The only thing that they want you to eat is the fruit, because that would allow you to get the seeds through your digestive tract into a huge pile of fertilizer at the end. So that's what they want you to do. They don't want you to eat their leaves, their roots, their seeds. Like they don't want you to crush the seeds. It's okay to get seeds passed through your digestive tract without being actually crushed by your teeth. But I digress. Basically, plants may not actually be the best food for you, and especially things like refined grains. So this is basically what I eat, and this is what allowed me to be much more productive than other students. I actually like going and getting sunlight instead, and walking outside and going to the gym and reading, because my brain is not rotten from all the modern diet bullshit and from the TikTok and from all of that stuff. I can actually perform much better in class and at work. So this is what I do. I hope this was helpful. I'll see you next time. Work hard and rest hard.